over and tell me whether you can hear any screeching in the background?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not. We've got guinea fowl, and they're so. Oh, they stopped. They're so loud.
Welcome to the Marketers of the Universe podcast. I'm Hayden Woods-Williams, Digital Marketing Team Lead and new dad at Brew Digital, and I'm here with a plethora of awesome marketing topics. To kick things off, our Senior Social Media Manager, Debbie, is talking about whether B2B brands are wasting their time on social media. If you feel like you may be in a bit of a social rut, then that'll be a topic for you. We'll also be opening up the gladiator ring and letting the marketers fight to the death as we discuss if marketing is now just a glorified odd jobs department. We're taking that in a new direction. Answers must be less than 30 seconds or I'll stop you. And we're treating this like a, for trademark reasons, battle royale. If you go over your time, you're out of the ring and the next contender's up. But for now, let's get on with the podcast.
Hello, and welcome again to the social and fun section of this podcast. Thank you to Hayden for the introduction. Today's topic is a bit of a tricky one because we may not have a job after this, but we're going to go forward. I am joined by no other than our lovely team that helps out around for our clients on social media. We have Selfie. Hi, Selfie. Welcome to the panel.
Hi, I'm also a new dad, but a cat dad.
Okay, cat dad. And hi to Freya. Welcome.
Hi, I'm not a new parent, and I do not plan to be anytime soon at all.
What do I reply to that? I don't know. So the first question that I want to put out there, and it's good that this space is a safe space. What do you think is the unique advantage that social media brings to the table that B2B brands can think about when they compare this channel to, I would say, a more traditional marketing channel?
I think number one is just with how everything is just kind of speed. Because imagine like back in the days, I mean, I can't really speak for back in the days, but as far as what I know, when people used to go to conference, still a new software and all, versus now, where people can just, like search for software that your team needs. So I think speed does help. And with the social media kind of existing, it kind of make it like easier for you to kind of learn about a new product, a service and offering versus back then you kind of really have to rely on like the newspaper, the conference or contact the salesperson. But now customers can technically just kind of do it themselves. So I would say that's the number one advantage that B2B should kind of play with.
Social media offers a sort of real-time engagement that you can't get anywhere else. And it's a really great place for B2B businesses to show their brand personality and establish brand identity online. It also offers like a level of shareability that I don't think anything else does. Social media is just a great way for customers and clients to engage with brands.
It's interesting that you mentioned about brand personality because now more and more brands nowadays talk a lot about their online social persona, and really social media is where you see that a lot. How do you find like B2B customers engage with the social media accounts versus with B2C customers or just regular customers that are not on the B2B spectrum?
Platforms such as LinkedIn are really great for professionals and sort of people in the B2B space, but also many B2B customers use social media to research products and for customer support. Social media is a great place to get responses and answers from brands quickly. And I think personally, I have used LinkedIn and Instagram to research platforms before and get a really good idea of a brand's personality and a more in-depth level than I think you can get sometimes from a website.
I would say that is a slight different compared to B2C customers. Because for like B2C customers like myself, like when I go on social media, sometimes for food, sometimes for, I don't know what movie to watch and so on. But like with B2B, it's slightly different in a way that I would say in terms of like how casual they are. that's not the same as like B2C customers. So I think as a B2B, you need to find the right balance, which so far, I think we'll talk about it a little bit more later. I've kind of started seeing more B2B brands really know how to balance that to kind of make sure it's still professional. Because, like most people like chatting, asking for software or whatever they want to use for work, but also still kind of being in touch with the more casual, fun, human side of it.
One thing that we hear quite a lot, especially when you work on social media, is the question of like, how do you make sure that these interactions are actually valuable interactions? Some might say that, these are very fluffy numbers. You put a heart and like a thumbs up into your post, but what does that really mean? How do you ensure to your clients to build that trust and actually measure that what you're doing is bringing impact to the company?
Number one, I think just to kind of make sure what you are doing impactful, just kind of know what your organization want to achieve. So this is something that, at least in my experience so far, that businesses, I feel like everyone have heard this. Businesses like, oh, I want my social media post to go viral. My customers all see it. But the reality is not everything is going to go viral. Like, I'm sorry, maybe your business is everything to you, but it's not everything to your customer or like potential customers out there. So you have to understand that some social media posts maybe just to entertain or educate your current and potential customers, but there are some that you can kind of track a performance up to something that's more like tangible, like your revenue, your webinar sign up, your lead generation, and so on. So understanding that difference will be helpful. And of course, as like a social media manager, you have to make sure you know how to communicate that to your clients. Like, this thing is for the awareness side. This thing is for something that's slightly more tangible for you to measure, because there's not really a one size fits all. Because if you think about it, let's say a webinar post, for example, you may think the likes is kind of like a vanity, but without the likes, very few people are going to see it. So, like the more the likes, the more the reposts, the more the comments, that's how you kind of get more people to kind of see it. So eventually it does helpful, but it's just a matter of understanding which metric is for what business outcome that you want.
I honestly think Selfie covered genuinely every point I had, but I think a really good point to also consider is that when you're posting, you're not always posting for you. What you think you want to post might not be right for what your target audience want to see. And I think sometimes you need to consider that posts that you think you would want to see aren't what your customer would want to see. And so then they won't always do the best. And a healthy balance of both, so you get your brand personality across, but also give your customers what they want to see, is a really good way of engaging with your customers online. Engaging with your clients online.
One thing that I would love to also chat about with you guys is your experiences working with clients. Are there certain challenges that you have faced that you feel like you needed to overcome when working with B2B clients compared to B2C clients?
Number one challenge I can think of, I think B2C, because I've worked in both B2C and B2B, I can say B2C clients, for example, B2C businesses, they kind of have like really in mind that the people they are targeting are actually human, but B2B business can sometimes forget it. I think we as a team kind of discuss it, like, like why you want all the content to be gated, that people have to like sign up, click here and there just to get it. Because like, imagine your B2B business, or just imagine you're like a real person talking to your friend or your coworker, like, hey, do you want to know something? And then you ask people, oh, you want to know? Please click here and sign up here. Like, nobody's going to do that. Nobody's going to want to continue the conversation with you. So just kind of remembering that at the end of the day, like, yes, you're targeting the head of IT, you're targeting the CFO, head of marketing, or whatever your persona is still a human being. So yeah, it's such a basic thing to remember, but I would say like in B2B, that's definitely like a bigger pain point compared to like our B2C businesses.
I think deciding what approach you take to social media and what platforms you use can be quite daunting. But if you go in with a clear idea of how you want to represent your brand and what you want to target, clear goals for your channels, like eventually you will get there. Personally, one of the big challenges for me, and when I took over our Instagram, has been the speed and turnaround of which you need to get content onto platforms like Instagram to hit the algorithm. And we are definitely getting there. Like with the help of the team and the amazing design team, I'm getting more organized and we're getting more streamlined in our ability to put out good quality content. But I think at the beginning, it can be quite disheartening. So you just need to keep going and eventually all the cogs will sort of fall back into place and you will end up hitting that Instagram algorithm. You just need to keep going and pushing through the initial tension.
Last question of the panel. I would love to shake things up. Is there anything that you're seeing B2C brands doing so well on their social media that you'd love for the B2B to be just like open to it and would try it on their own social channels? Selfie first.
Just be a little more unhinged, but professional still. I do feel like B2B are always kind of playing it too safe. But I have a good example. Like if anyone haven't seen like TikTok, different people pronounce it differently. SEMrush, SEMrush. Go to their TikTok. I enjoy it. I do feel like they does a good job. Like some posts are like, okay, about their business, but some posts just doesn't make any sense. But it reminds me of them. Their name will be always on top of my head when I think about like, you know, like a marketing kind of software platform. So I think, yeah, just have fun. Like, come on. It's we're not saving lives here. So just have fun a little bit. Just try to find the right balance. I would say that just have fun.
I think like you've hit a string there wherein we are constantly also telling our clients that we understand that you are talking about high level technical stuff, but at the end of the day, people buy from people and you need to also seem like a human and come across as a relatable person on social. But with that said, Freya, do you want to wrap us off with like your thoughts?
I just completely agree. Also, I was in a talk the other day with someone who worked at SEMrush, and you're right, it is SEMrush. But I've not been in B2B social media that long. But like Selfie said, recently I have seen an uptake in reels and short videos with a more fun and fresh take on B2B marketing and really like targeting their Gen Z audience and where their attention lies. Trends such as Watch My Boss just allow people an insight into the people behind the business and also help build connections with their audience whilst being great for engagement. And another brand that do B2B and B2C marketing that is just completely unhinged is Duolingo. I am obsessed with their TikToks and their socials. They're just great. So if you want a great example of unhinged content, go look at Duolingo.
That's a lot of good pointers for me. The biggest takeaway here, yes, B2B brands, you still need the social media space. It's not just all about bringing home the money, but also trying to play the game in the long run.
So today we are looking at a what's your take, and our statement that I want our team members to discuss is marketing has lost its way and we're all drowning in pointless tasks. We're taking this in a new direction. Answers must be less than 30 seconds or I'll stop you. And we're treating this like for trademark reasons, battle royale. If you do go over time, you're out of the ring and the next panelist contender is up. Consider this a marketing battle royale. Kicking us off in our trademark reasons battle royale is our senior email marketing manager, Mark Bundle, our head of digital marketing services, Rich Harper, and Kieran O'Neill, who is an account manager for Brew Digital. Question number one, and I'm throwing it to Rich. Do you think marketing gets the respect it deserves?
No, is the solid answer there in the 30 seconds that I've got. And I also believe that marketers have potentially brought that on themselves.
I love that. Leave it hanging. Leave it hanging. Anyone else want to chime in on that?
Yeah, go on. I think they do get the respect they deserve. Unfortunately, a lot of the time, they don't deserve an awful lot. Bad marketing gets no respect, and nor should it. Sadly, there's not enough good marketing in the world, and I think when it does crop up, people love it, and it goes viral, and it gets talked about.
I don't think it gets the respect that it deserves. You can go all the way back to Bill Hicks's stand-up, where he just says, kill yourself. We provide a service that is unfortunate for some people in terms of their views and opinions of it, but it's necessary.
I'm going to say as well, I agree with Mark in the sense that bad marketing is the reason why we potentially don't get the respect. I'm going to disagree with him on the fact that marketing gets respect, because I think good marketing gets circulated and respected by other marketing people, not people outside of marketing.
I strongly disagree with that. Think of like Holidays Are Coming, the Coca-Cola campaign. That's globally recognised as the start of Christmas. And that's not a marketing thing. So the good marketing, where it's done properly, is respected, is recognised outside the community. This is not my thought of it.
I was going to say, is it respected by people though? Do they actually know that it's marketing? I disagree. I think people see adverts. I don't think they respect them for what they are.
If you said, can marketing creative be classed as art, you'd get shot down. But I actually think there is an art form in creative. But also, what tends to be the first department that gets culled during a redundancy process?
Everyone thinks marketing is just advertising. It's not. And Mark, you fell into that trap a little bit by going about the Coca-Cola. That's just advertising. It's not marketing in general.
No, but it's an example of marketing. And surely if one part is respected, that means that marketing as a whole has some respect.
It has some respect, but not nearly enough. We'll agree on that part.
Okay, I'm going to stop everyone there and introduce into the ring Nasha Nasera from our paid media team. She's one of our paid media managers. You are up as well. Building on that, we're talking there about marketing being advertising. What is the most important thing a marketer should be doing?
Know your product, know your audience, know your boss. You do the above and you'll build strong, lasting connections with your audience of choice. You'll drive that brand loyalty and you'll achieve the business goals while probably getting an easier sign-off from the higher-ups.
Have a bloody plan, because so many marketing departments and companies have no marketing plan or no marketing strategy. In fact, I saw a survey, and this is only a snapshot, it's about 2,000 decision makers, that around 67% of SMEs do not have a marketing plan. That is just shocking.
I would say putting yourself in your customers' shoes and understanding them to a T, and also believing in whatever product or service you're marketing, because if you don't, you will have a really hard time convincing others as well.
Because we seem to be really good at this 30 seconds thing, we're now getting down to 20 seconds because I need to throw some people out of this ring. I often hear that marketing is the odd jobs department. Do you agree?
Definitely. I think marketers very much get this is marketing in the way that Rich was referring to earlier on as this nebulous thing that does stuff. A lot of this, that and the other kind of being passed down to, it's a lead in there somewhere.
I would say it depends. This can be true in smaller companies where marketers wear many hats, which I don't think is a bad thing, especially if you're still new to marketing. You'll learn a lot, but in the well-structured teams, roles are more defined.
If you treat your marketing department as if it's an odd jobs department, then you will quickly realise that you don't have a marketing department.
For the purpose of our listeners there, that was Steph Smith, our head of design.
No, let me in. I'm chomping at the bit out here, Hayden.
What she has done there by accident is actually knock Rich Harper over the ropes and he's out of there. Steph, you're up.
I just said my piece. You got to look after the marketing department, you know? That's right, Rich. Yeah, I can see you. I can see you. Look after that marketing department or they won't be there.
You've just thrown me out.
Moving the conversation on, we, in our last episode, spoke a little bit about data and collecting first-party data. Is the overuse of data creepy?
Yeah. Well, it kind of depends on how it's used, but it's rather insidious having thousands of data points on me and an algorithm that understands my triggers more than I do.
I've got to agree with Kieran, going as fast as I possibly can. There's a really famous story about an American supermarket where they sent a girl a leaflet about pregnancy products before she told anyone she was pregnant because their analysis had worked it out before she'd gone public. That's definitely creepy.
Is there anything more annoying as well? If anyone's ever got engaged to anyone, when you're looking for a wedding ring and then you start getting targeted by ring adverts, that's annoying.
Worse on creepy data is that things like Alexa now listen to you. When they don't say they listen to you, nowhere in their privacy policy does it say it's collecting what you're saying, but clearly they do, because the number of times you'll say something in earshot of other devices and you'll start getting ads along that line.
That clap at the end there was Mark tripping over and falling out of our ring, bringing in Danica Wolpel, who is a senior full-stack developer, and kicking the question off with, what do you think the perception of marketing is from those in disciplines outside of marketing?
not enough people see the value in it until it's too late and they're like, oh, wait, why isn't our product doing well? Because you haven't dedicated time and money towards marketing.
I think marketing is seen as a cost center rather than a direct revenue driver for the business. And you can see this clearly across most companies, especially when COVID happened. The marketing team would be the first to go. So keep shouting about what you do, show them your value.
Keep on that question, because we've mentioned marketing is the first team who is made redundant, and Nastya's just said there as well about COVID and marketers being kicked out there. Do you think marketers are doing enough to justify their existence in a business?
Yes, I think they are doing enough. I just think it's down to people to listen more and not think of them as an afterthought, think of them at first.
I would agree with that, in that I don't think it's the marketer's place to justify their existence if they've been hired for a job. It's the understanding that their boss knows what they're there for. Thus, they are valued.
Kieran's keeping his mouth very shut. He's kind of hiding in a corner at the moment. Still in the ring, though. Or is he? I think he just fell out. And we're bringing in our senior social media manager, Debbie Gacutan Jardim de Oliveira, into the conversation. And I'm going to go all the way back to our title question. Has marketing lost its way?
Oh, okay. I don't think marketing has lost its way. I think it's defining its way with all the new trends coming out there. Kind of the woke era of marketing is here, and we're all about it.
One thing I think that marketing has lost its way in is storytelling. Don't give me the advertising spiel, but I think we're missing narratives now. And I think it's due to our short attention spans, but I would love a bit of narratives coming back.
Okay, I'm going to go back to what I said, but I do think that some stakeholders have lost their way by thinking that marketing is a quick way to achieve their goals, forgetting about their objectives first and thinking that actually you have to make the client fall in love with you first, then getting their money.
Oh, that was close. And I think, Debbie, as much as I love your opinions, I think you were maybe just a little bit over the time there. So you are out of the ring. And we are bringing Freya Wilcox stepping into the ring as our digital marketing coordinator. Keeping that question open, has marketing lost its way?
I don't know. I've only just got into marketing. I've been in marketing a year. I don't think so. I think it's just changing, it's changing its direction. These birds are so bloody loud. Yeah, I've been in marketing for a year, so get back to me in a year and I'll answer you.
Right, delay the question.
Yeah, some might say so, but I agree with Freya. I don't think so. It's evolving. And that's what I love about marketing. It's never boring. And it's all about finding new ways to reach and engage with our audience where they are.
And just because I like this, we've spoken, in our last section about social media. Are there too many fake influencers who are diluting marketing messaging?
I would say, actually, no. You're separating the cream from the milk, and that is entirely down to the audience. It's up to them to figure out who they want to relate with. It's not our job. It's our job to put the right people in front of them.
There's too many of them. I think, unfortunately, we can try and put the right people in front of certain audiences, but there will be those kind of fake ass influencers who will manage to get in there because they've got the following, and they suck because they just shit out FOMO vibes and make everyone second guess what they're doing. You're universally hated, just FYI.
What has happened there, for the context of the audience, is Kieran O'Neill, our account manager, has dived into the ring, taken out Steph and Nastya at the same time, as well as chucking himself out of the ring too, landing on the floor. Everyone looks a little bit embarrassed. And into the ring comes Salfi Noor, our social media manager, and also Shinru Chow, who is our SEO marketing manager as well. And jumping in after them quite sneakily is Rich Harper, who's trying to get a bit of a redemption section into his, for trademark reasons, Battle Royale career. Question. Actually, no, I'm going to leave it there. Are there too many fake influencers who are diluting marketing messaging?
I think I need to say this very quickly because I'm afraid of being pushed out again. I think the problem is not having fake influencers. The problem is that clients do not understand what the right influencers for them. They think that big followers equals big impact. Not the case. Think again. Done.
Thank you, Debbie. She wasn't actually in the ring, but she just jumped up onto the side with a metal chair and just kind of smashing people in the face with her snippets. Still an open question.
I just want to second this and say that if you have good marketing and good brand identity, then people will like you regardless of the influencer. A big following doesn't mean, I don't know, big benefits. Like, people will fail with influencers, whether they're big or small.
I think I want to third. No, I gonna second the opinion again. Just like, I think those people who want to be an influencer, they know the formula to get follower. They kind of know what things can attract followers. So big amount of follower doesn't mean they can bring like huge impact or huge benefit on the campaign that the company want to do.
That was Shinru Chao, who has come in with a banger, but sadly gone over our 30-second limit and been chucked right back out of the ring. Mark Bundle jumps at the opportunity to join us. And I'm going to go all the way back to kind of our feelings as marketers here. How do you set boundaries as a marketer? And we've spoken about the odd job machine, spoken about is marketing lost. How do you set boundaries as a marketer so that people treat you well?
So that I have the courage. Okay, what's the question? To set boundaries? I think it's quite easy. For social media, number one, don't ask me to make things go viral. Like, just please don't. That's my number one biggest wish. Don't ask me to make things go viral. It just doesn't happen that way. Thank you.
If you have personal boundaries and you can really stick up for yourself in that sense, no one's going to walk over you at work as long as you're professional with it. Don't take responsibility for anyone else's lack of planning. That's always my go-to advice.
Any more insights into how to set boundaries as a marketer?
Learn to say no.
I wanted to say that learning to say no to things that don't align with your end goal is important. But when I talk about what I do in marketing, there are no boundaries in digital marketing. Try to learn and experiment as much as you can.
Thank you, Nasya, who has come diving back into the ring. It's now a bit of a free-for-all, to be honest, and someone's ripped the ropes down, and our, for trademark reasons, Battle Royale ring you can just fight whoever you like. And I'm going to wrap things up and ask the question, what's one thing that we need to remember as marketers in order to do the job to the best of our ability?
It's just a job. Make sure you look after yourself first. If you're not looking after yourself and making sure that you're in the right space and that you do the best you can do, anything you're doing isn't as good as it should be.
Don't consistently share your results. Everyone will assume your project is a flop. So learn how to analyze data. Data is your best friend. That's all I can say.
Just remember, there's a human on the other side of this.
Being controversial, stop doing shit marketing. Like, it's really, really annoying. Like, I'm just going to say this, like, as an industry, if any industry woke up and realized that most of what they did not work, do you think people would put up with it?
Leave that long, lingering silence there as everyone looks back at the marketing campaigns that they've run this month and goes, am I one of these people running shit campaigns that Rich Harper from Brew Digital is talking about?
Probably run shit marketing campaigns myself.
I feel like if you've not run a shit marketing campaign, you're not a marketer.
Exactly. Just to put that out there, I am not the I'm not the god of marketing that everything that goes out is successful. I am also flawed.
We once ran a direct mail campaign to a list of people where the addresses were out of date, where we put boost bars into a box and said, boost your revenue, sent this out in the post to people. Of the 250 people on the list, I think about 120 were bounce backs. So over a 6-week period, we got 120 boost bars returned to the office, and I ate far too many of them. And on that, not going to say bombshell because that's Jeremy Clarkson, isn't it? So I won't say that. On that, for trademark reasons, Battle Royale excitement, we're going to end the podcast. That is all we have time for today. So thank you so much for everyone listening and sticking with us during that carnage session. We hope you found some useful snippets in this session and are able to go and put them into your own marketing strategy. We love that you've made it this far through your listen. We love making this content. If we could give you our chat log to see how much we love making this content, we would. We might. keep an eye out. If you can recommend this show to one friend that you think would enjoy listening, or a colleague, or an ex-colleague, or whoever, please do. Thank you, as always, to the Brew Digital team for their research into the topics for today's session. Make sure you go and check out our past episodes. Subscribe to whatever platform you use to listen to your podcasts on, and we'll see you on the next one. I've been Hayden, and these superstars are the marketers of the universe.